What if everything we've been told about autoimmunity is wrong? I'm Elizabeth Yarnell. After awakening partially blind one morning in 1999, a doctor told me my multiple sclerosis would put me in a wheelchair within 10 years. I refused to accept that as the end of the story, so I started investigating. Welcome to the Inflammation Investigator, the podcast that uncovers the inflammation lurking underneath your ailments. Because autoimmune and chronic conditions should not be viewed as death knells when they are actually alarm bells. I'm a traditional naturopath and founder of the Inflammation Academy. And in 2 episodes every week, we dig into what conventional medicine might be missing. If you're living with chronic or unexplained symptoms, this investigation is for you. Your body has been trying to tell you something. Let's start listening.
In the last episode, we talked a little bit about anti-inflammatory disease management. But what does that look like when it's actually put into action? So in this episode, I want to share with you directly the words of the mother of a patient that I have worked with. And because they are her words and not mine, you'll notice that I will be reading directly quite a bit more than normal in this episode. So bear with me, but here we go. In April of 2013, I began working with a 15-year-old MS patient. I'll call him Travis, who lives in a rural area of the Pacific Northwest. In this note, Travis's mother tells the story of how targeted anti-inflammatory dietary changes have helped her son avoid further exacerbations and even regain motor functions. The rest of this episode will be hearing directly from Travis's mother. Travis's first attack was September 2010, when he lost the sensation of cold on his right arm and leg. At that time, he did not show any loss of mobility, and the MRI scans were normal. On going back over my notes, I keep journals of doctors' visits on all my children. I had recorded that he complained of abdominal pain and soreness. Sore to touch that lasted from the September 17th to September 21st visit, when it went away. He also had soreness in his neck on the backside. I don't know if this is significant. Kind of looks like it to me, though. At least very interesting. It wasn't until April 2011 that he lost the feeling on his left side of his body, arm, face, and leg, and staggered when he walked. He had to use a wheelchair in the hospital, but refused one for home and instead used 2 hiking sticks. The MRI showed 10 lesions on his brain and spine. Despite a prognosis of needing a wheelchair for life, he was determined to walk, and eventually, over a month's time, went down to 1 walking stick and then to none. It wasn't a perfect gait, but he was walking without assistance. He went on to have small MS exacerbations in the fall and following spring of 2012. It wasn't until after attending a church youth camp in July 2012 that he had another, more substantial attack where his right arm, leg, and speech were affected. He recovered from these too, but not 100%. We noticed he would drag a foot up the stairs. Clump, clump, pause, clump, clump, pause. The next round of MRI scans showed more lesions, and the doctor wanted to double his Avonex shots. He was starting to get increasing side effects from this medication at the shot site, and also flu symptoms and depression. This was early 2013, and our search for different answers led us to you. He did not start to have full recovery of his mobility and fine motor skills until 4 weeks after he took the mediator release test, the MRT, and began the lifestyle eating and performance LEAP dietary therapy in April of 2013. While his dragging a foot up the stairs, clump, clump, pause, clump, clump, pause, cleared up in the first few months after beginning the diet to an even left, right, going up the stairs. What we noticed in December and January of 2013, which may have occurred sooner, is that he was actually running and or trotting up and down the stairs with no balance or coordination issues. His father and I noticed what he was doing, reflected on the change, and gave thanks to God for leading us to you, the LEAP test, and the diet. We want to continue this because it is working. Travis never had a relapse after he had a nasty bronchial cold over Christmas either, which is a first. This is a big deal to us, as he has always had some relapse after bronchial colds in the past. I am looking out my window, watching my 16-year-old son chop and split wood. He basically has a log camp set up at the edge of our small forest. He recently used his chainsaw, bought with his own money, that he earned himself, to saw down some dead trees as he and his father work on forest management on our property. The trees were smallish, but nonetheless a great accomplishment. He gets great pleasure out of being able to do these things that he loves. He is healthy and so strong, and I know that without a doubt, he would not be able to do these things if he was still on the path we were on before he began the diet. Those were the words directly from this client's mother, Travis's mother. But now I just want to share a couple of key takeaways from the episodes that we have listened to so far going along in this podcast. Number one, hidden inflammation is likely at the base of most of your chronic symptoms of pain, discomfort, or dysfunction. 2, multiple sclerosis and other autoimmune conditions are characterized by chronic inflammation. 3, anti-inflammatory disease management is a lifestyle of heightened awareness to potential threats and proactively striving to identify and avoid the triggers that activate inflammation in our own body. 5, anti-inflammatory disease management should be practiced whether or not you are taking a disease management therapy, as you still need to eat and live in this world. And 6, targeted diet and other lifestyle strategies can make a big difference in how you feel and function. We've come a long way since the beginning, and I hope you'll stick with us and join me in the next episode where we will talk about defining multiple sclerosis and autoimmune conditions. Until then.
And that's another case filed on the Inflammation Investigator. Remember, every symptom is your body's way of communicating. We just need to learn the language. If today's episode sparked something for you, I want to hear about it. Share your own investigation discoveries with me on social media at Elizabeth Yarnell, or find me at elizabethyarnell.com. Your experience could be exactly what another listener needs to hear. And make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. And here's the thing about investigations. They work best when you're not going it alone. If this podcast is helping you uncover the answers you've been searching for, please like, rate, subscribe, and review, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. As a new podcast, these actions mean more than you know. Want to dive deeper into your own inflammation investigation? Head over to inflammationinvestigator.com, where you can take my free inflammation quiz to uncover which hidden triggers might be affecting your health. Until next time, this is Elizabeth Yarnell, your inflammation investigator, reminding you that the solutions to your health issues are out there. Let's find them together.